Okay, we're here with Jonson McClumpha at East Durham College, where he does his training with Dave Binns, ahead of his fight with Lewis Taylor on Saturday on Box Nation. Johnson, raring to go?
Cannot wait. It's going to be class. Two unbeaten lads doing what we need to do. I'm going to get in there and do it.
So what do you know about Lewis Taylor?
The fact that he's unbeaten in 15. I've seen him throughout the amateur game. He was always thereabouts winning national titles, and he's a good kid. But I'm confident I'm going to win.
Yeah, you're not too bad yourself, are you, really?
I've done some myself as well, so I'm confident in my ability.
So you were in the ring about 10 days ago against Kieran Gray on the cream of the crop bill. That was that 4 rounds, 6 rounds? 4 rounds.
And, won every round. Didn't get it.
I was going to say, did he get hit once?
No, didn't even get it once. So you can get him through a 4-round fight without getting it. So it doesn't matter who you're with.
Well, it's getting into the right habits, isn't it, when you're going into a bigger fight?
That's what I did. I wanted to keep things right, get in there, do my business, and I did. So I was come out injury free.
Yeah, well, that's half the battle as well.
For me, it's very good.
Well, again, obviously having the strength and conditioning coach on there now, that's going to help in terms of the injuries, with flexibility, that side of things as well.
He's been on board since day one of the professional career, and that's how I'm so big and so strong for the weight. But the injuries I've had have been totally just the most outrageous.
Just random ones.
Everything. Just knee look. If I didn't have any, it would be bad.
I injured my ankle playing darts.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm so incessant when I practice anything. I was standing for hours leaning in the wrong position, and because I was standing leaning over for that long, I actually injured my ankle playing darts. It's ridiculous, but there you go. That's my claim to fame.
Mine was on a motorbike when I was 13, but I come back on us in the end.
It's a lot more rock and roll than mine, though, isn't it?
Unless you had a pint in your hand.
Well, exactly. Yeah. Well, I've normally got a pint in my hand. But so Lewis Taylor, unbeaten 15 fights, I think he's had. Now we're seeing a lot more of this now. I had Saunders against Eubank in the same division, middleweights, putting the O on the line. A couple of weeks ago, I had Lee Mould and Craig Dixon. Again, unbeaten fighters prepared to go in against each other. And obviously you're going to be fighting on Box Nation this weekend as well. So these are the sort of fights that should be getting the exposure.
Definitely.
Where you've got two guys, both guys going in to win, and not necessarily unbeaten, but well matched up and prepared to actually put the risk on there. Those are the fights that for me should be getting televised, and it's obviously a great opportunity for yourself.
Fantastic. I cannot wait just to get on the cameras and actually show people what I can do. And obviously there's going to be a lot of criticism as well. Every little false move gets criticised, but
that's if you make a false move. I mean, the last fight was faultless, so.
But obviously it comes part and parcel of it, doesn't it? But I cannot wait. It's just properly exciting. I can't even put into words. I need to. I've got a job to do, and I've trained to do that job.
It's over 10 rounds.
10 rounds, yeah.
Now there's no title on at this stage anyway. There's no title on the fight itself. But as we were saying earlier, it doesn't need to be a title. You've got two unbeaten guys, good amateurs, going in against each other.
Both good amateurs, both doing very well as a pro. So if we didn't get it on, it would be a shame.
Well, I think I've read an article on Dennis Hobson's website. I think Lewis is one of his fighters, I believe.
Dennis Hobson.
And he was going to be slated in to fight somebody else, and then he cried out, and then obviously you've come in as a replacement. And the article was saying it's actually a tougher fight for him, which I have to say I have to agree with. But in terms of preparation, have you had, how many 10-round fights have you had before?
Just one 10-round fight. Went the distance, I went to 10 rounds. To be honest, the rounds doesn't bother us. I'm not really bothered about. You do 4 rounds, you do 10 rounds, you do 12.
You just do it at a different pace, don't you?
You've got to get in there either way.
Yeah.
So we didn't know that we were going to fight until think it was a week before the last one, so we still had 3 weeks, albeit everything.
And you've
went
just
our
come up
way.
another camp for this one as well.
Yeah, so it's going to be good.
Well, if you think about it in terms of the injuries, the frustrations you've had with that, in terms of ending the year 2014, you've already had a punch perfect performance a couple of weeks back. You've got the biggest fight of your career so far coming on Saturday. Obviously, let's not get ahead of the game and things, but obviously everything going well. It's the perfect way to end the year and set yourself up for a big 2015.
A win would be the perfect way to finish the year. It's ideal Christmas for me. I've stuck at my diet. I've been bang on a diet for ages. I've stuck at me. Everything's been perfect. Road work, diet, training, everything. And it's just led up to this, and it's felt good. So I'm over the moon. And I've got 13 days on my calendar to eat.
Yeah, you can really enjoy your Christmas then.
Cannot wait for them.
Oh.
13 little chocolates I'm waiting for.
Poor Glenn. Poor Glenn. Well, I suppose he can let himself off the leash a little bit over the Christmas. But in terms of 2015, obviously with Glenn's going to be having his biggest fight of his career against Ahmed Patterson as well in February. Obviously, hopefully this fight's going to set you up to similar sort of fights for next year. But in terms of the middleweight division, I mean, we mentioned the Billy Joe Saunders and Eubank fight, but there's so many names in and around there.
There's loads of names, and we've got to get. If you want to be the best, you've got to get out there and fight them on. And this is just another step. And it's a step I think I can win.
Well, you're putting yourself in the shop window. You're going to be on national, and obviously Box Nation, it's a boxing community as well. So, and a lot of people stream it as well, of course. So it's not just the Box Nation customers, but in terms of everything coming towards, I mean, you are 24 as well. It's a lot of people think you're older because you've been around a while.
I turned pro at 19, so. I have sort of been around the world.
Yeah, so I mean the injuries obviously aren't ideal, and you're not going to say, oh, thank the Lord for those injuries and things. But in terms of your development, you might not have had as many fights as you would have had, but you've still had the training and the development and things.
That's what I mean. Although I've had injuries, I've still matured in that time as well. So a lot of things have stopped with the likes of training and that for injuries. My body's still matured.
Yeah.
My mind's still matured.
I was going to say you're still learning up here as well.
It doesn't mean the best, because I've been sat on a chair eating Chinese.
Yeah.
broken ankle,
but all the more to work off when you get back into training though.
But the dedication's there, and it always has been.
So in terms of, I know a lot of boxers don't like being asked this, but in terms of prediction, how do you see the fight going on Saturday?
I see it being a tough, good fight. I know Lewis is going to bring everything up because he's got to. He's got to be on his A game, and so have I. And it's got the makings of a well-worthy televised fight, which is good.
Well, I believe the fight that was going to be topping the bill on Saturday is actually being pulled out there now, so I don't know if they actually replaced it with anything else, but there's a good chance you might actually be topping the bill on Saturday as well.
Anything more, it's a little bit more icing on the cake.
Yeah, well, with more pressure becomes more motivation,
more pressure,
and obviously with Dave in the corner, you've got the right man there to keep you switched on.
Dave, I wouldn't have anybody else in my corner but Dave. He's unbelievable. I know he doesn't look it, but he's a very
No, he definitely doesn't look it.
very clever bloke as well. He is.
You can tell just talking to the guy, he's very well switched on, but I'm getting his interview next, so we'll let him talk about you a little bit. But tell you what, Jonson, we're going to be coming back down after the fight to follow up and see how you got on and everything like that. But before then, all the very best for Saturday, mate.
Yeah.
Cheers, man.
Thank you.